So there ain't nothing. I can't have a conversation about worker well-being without talking about job loss. I mean, look at this dude. that's a scary situation you're having there. Okay? So losing a job is a really big deal. Why? Well, duh, we need money. Okay, but more so than that, I mean, it provides structure to your day. It provides structure to your week or your year. I mean, as an academic, you work toward breaks and I mean everything, and it's wonderful. You get a reset every semester. You get to reset and reboot and restart, right? If things were kind of going like shit, then you can reset. We can, you know how long the problem is going to last. Okay, but look, it provides an opportunity to demonstrate skills. I mean, without where who do you talk to? Where do you challenge yourself? You need social interactions. This gives you social interactions. Maybe purpose. Remember Abraham Maslow. Okay? Identity often comes from a job. Prestige comes from a job. Job loss means you lose all these things. Okay? Unemployment absolutely creates a spillover. It can be these precursor to depression. Job loss, you must have social support. What happens during unemployment is, let's say, new skills are not learned, so new programs are developing, you're losing them all. Existing skills can atrophy. So clearly there's some problems with unemployment or, not being employed. And in an odd way. I remember one person I know, he got himself a master's degree in engineering, and then his father gifted him, for a lack of a better word, gifted him a business, gifted him a Subway restaurant, okay? And it was a hugely popular Subway restaurant in downtown Dallas. And what happened, though, is at some point, the owner of the building in which his business was located just said, I'm not going to offer you a lease next year. That's it. His business is gone, okay? And so now it's 20 years later, he's got a master's degree in engineering. He can do nothing. He cannot do anything with his degree. He has lost it. And now he is obviously experiencing symptoms of depression. I mean, I've heard he just sits at home all day and plays video games and does not even attempt to look for a job. So I'm like, So also, right, layoffs are bad for the people that remain because of that job insecurity thing. Workplace violence is clearly one of the outcomes. I mean, you look at workplace shootings, and you're going to find a whole hell of a lot of workplace shootings as the result of unfair termination, right? So we find that unemployment is different. Okay, so the first time you could really be unemployed is after you finished your education, but you're waiting to get your first job. And so it's definitely unemployment. You have no employment, but it's not the same because you've never had you've never had full-time employment before. You don't really know that you're not losing things because you never had them. Okay, unemployment on younger people seems to be much less stressing because many younger workers have not yet established a family. So they don't have the family to be concerned about. They often still have parents that they can fall back on. Yes, the bane of the 21st century, the children that will never leave. All right. At this moment, mine are out. Who knows, right? So, quite problematic. There was some problems with employment with Obamacare. If you recall back in, I guess it was 2010 or something, when Obamacare was put in place, that it was any employee that was more than 30 hours a week, there was requirement that the employer provide insurance. And so all kinds of companies, what they did was they started to hire people at 29 hours a week. And so 29 hours a week means they did not have to provide insurance, and these people were not full-time, they were not getting adequate salaries, and it was a real problem, but I mean, it was a win for the industry, right? I mean, but after that spike, and you can see on this graph that spike, that there was a huge decline in this underemployment, and it was a major contention about the effects of Obamacare, but it was temporary. Look at this. Employers recognize that if you just keep hiring a bunch of people at 29 hours a week, other companies are going to offer them full-time opportunities, and you're going to lose them. Right? I know that this is a political firestorm, and some people truly believe that immigrants are the cause of job loss. I mean, I think it's a load of shit, but I mean, a lot of people believe it. Okay? Obviously, a big problem in job loss is outsourcing. Oh my God, automation. This has been technology leading to the need for fewer workers. And this last line here, technology, has been going on for centuries. Go look in your history books for the Luddites, okay? And the Luddites were a group of people at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in the early 1800s. And they foresaw this problem that technology was going to take away their lives. And so these Luddites would go around and they would smash machines. They'd go and smash the spinning mills and shit like that. So it happens today too. And I mean, we'll see how technology is changing. Okay? So obviously, job loss creates a lot of problems, right? The opportunity for personal control, the opportunity for skill use. Remember, all of those things that War said were determinants of worker well-being, they're all gone. Every one of them is gone. So clearly, job loss impacts the family severely. And I can tell you from a personal experience that at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, my wife became suddenly unemployed. And the stress involved with trying to navigate the unemployment system was just unbearable. It was you would call on the phone and you would be on hold for 6 hours and you would still never get a human being. And I mean, after doing this for week after week after week, we finally got a human being, and it was like, oh, they're not actually even employed by this agency. They're an outside contractor, and nothing. And we couldn't get any response from anybody until finally I decided to contact my state senator, right? I went to my state senator and said, look, here's my situation, okay? And because the state, by the way, the state of Texas rejected my wife's claim because she was unemployed, but they believed that because their argument was because she's working at the university, by definition, every summer you're unemployed, and then you're reemployed in the fall. And if every worker on the planet claimed unemployment in this situation, can you imagine the backlash? I mean, every teacher would say, in the summer I'm unemployed, and I get unemployment. But she had a case where she had no contract to go back to. I mean, it was just gone. The job was gone. And so the state was completely flat out closed out her account, wouldn't get it to us. But once the state said, it was an amazing thing, because I put in a little note to a state senator. 24 hours later, got this person's assistant. This person's assistant calls me, talks to me personally. I explain the situation, and 2 days later, problem solved. All right, with every back pay brought in. It was like, take advantage of your state senator. They represent you for a reason. Okay.